Hello, Donnie here from Global Crisis. This is a drawing representing the spheres of consciousness that are essentially just visual models that I've drawn to show what takes place when we understand these relationships of the mind that we have to establish to subdue that dualistic nature that's inside of us and rise to the level of enlightenment. So, the first sphere is the universal mind sphere, okay, which is above all the spheres of consciousness and envelop and permeate all matter in the universe. Okay, this is based off Charles Haanel, this drawing that I did just off what he taught in the Master Key System, 18th century. George Osawa from Japan is also 18th century, and so it's interesting how the macrobiotic intimately correlates with this idea of aligning the spheres of consciousness. So I drew this to represent how I see the alignment process. There's like a spiral. It's almost like DNA, really, when you think about it. The second sphere is called the consciousness sphere, which has to do with the mental quantity that has no material origin that we experience when we die, when we're born, when we dream day to day. It's there. It's a pervading source of, the dream world, if you will. The next sphere is the mind sphere, the actual fleshly organ of the mind that has blood pumping through it. So we talked about the importance of having that food interact with the blood so that we don't bypass the whole system down the spine to the feet of circulation. So the mind would be that instant gratification that we talked about in the canon of man drawing study. This sphere, being the fleshly organ of the mind, has to do with thoughts and knowledge stored in different places, so we can unlock these doors that we've never used once we graduate through understanding this and meditating on individual mantras. This sphere that is in the middle of the ladder is going to be your heart sphere. Okay, your physiological place for emotions and ways of understanding true emotions now, because we've cleansed our body of the chemicals found in processed foods, refined sugars. We've eliminated jars, cans for our food sources, and we're going local, organic, squash varieties, pumpkins, and whole grains. So this next sphere after the heart sphere is going to be the Dantian we talked about on my left of the ladder. The Dantian is the energy where we project vibrations that create the reality of our future. Okay. The next sphere after the Dantian is going to be the important sphere of the cerebrospinal sphere, which contains the vagus nerve that aligns the spines like segments of this ladder, aligns them physiologically. So that needs to be healthy. So the Pilates style Japanese exercise that's in the Misio Kushi book has to do with certain postures that are very similar to basic yoga that stimulate kidney and organ functions. So it's kind of like giving your organs an activating massage or something. So these exercises help with the alignment associated with the vagus nerve and the cerebrospinal sphere. Okay, so all these other spheres are kind of like just going in reverse. Notice that it almost forms a figure 8, infinity symbol, just in the DNA correlation. So what's happening is kind of like what Neo went through in the Matrix in a sense, but also Terence McKenna's writings, the invisible landscape, and true hallucinations, which explains how, the vibrational resonance is like what this vision represents here with the spheres, how it resonates is a spiral, like a galaxy. So in our body, so it's life changing. You don't need, things that halt that process in your life. We need to eradicate them. So now we've gone through the physiological process of alignment with natural law, which Charles Haanel actually talks about in the Master Key System in quantum physics, the natural law. There's a correlating idea between Japanese antiquity and Michigan, George Haanel's philosophy, 18th century. So we're going to try to explore other ideas based off this on the next video. Thank you.